What's going on, YouTube? I'm back with another video. I'm basically going to be talking today about how male society is pretty much eating itself, in a sense, like matricide, which is basically like the killing of one's mother, right? But right now we got patricide, we got, and let me just break it down. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because a lot of this stuff, it's just unfortunate. Like, you can see the future where what's going to happen is hypothetically, it's so out of balance that when women take over, the only thing that's going to happen is it's going to get out of balance because they saw what's out of balance and they're just going to reciprocate that. And then we're going to finally go into a period of darkness where no one's ruling. And then we might go into a period of harmony. But anyway, you'll see what I'm talking about. So we got patricide going on in every single facet of our lives. Women are not held accountable for anything, and they shouldn't be, because we created the standard and status quo, right? So a woman, we can say back in the day before they had to work, all they had to do was look pretty. They get a job. They get a husband. Husband takes care of them. That was all the standard had to be, right? Back then, it was just beauty, right? Beauty was the pedestal. Now, men can't get women. I'm going to talk about this global escapism. It's all this. Everything is connected. Global escapism. Men created all this, by the way. We got global escapism because men can't get women because men made women get out of the house. Right? Men made women get out of the house. So now we have women out of the house. Now we have men in the gym 24/7 doing this thing called look maxing, right? Where they just try to look as perfect as they can, like Greek gods, which were gay. Or not gay, not Greek gods, but all the philosophers and wearing robes and shit. Yeah, they were all gay, dudes. What did you not? You didn't know that? And then what they're trying to do is be like the female. I'm going to become so pretty that I'm going to just get a job, or I'm just going to become a boss, or I'm just going to be able to coast through life on my looks. That's where that's headed. That's where that's at. So then, hold on, just think about that. We got that sector. Then we have men can't get women so bad that we idolize the vagina. And I honestly think, don't get me wrong, the super effeminate, I feel like the dichotomy, it's so weird, right? Lesbianism, being gay, male homophobia. It's almost like a parody in itself, right? They're so effeminate to be like the woman because that was absent, right? And why is it absent? Because of men. Women become it's not a coincidence that, right? I told you I'm in this feminist class, and it's not a coincidence that they even call the alpha lesbian, because she becomes the man. There's no escaping becoming a man and woman in any dichotomy of the relationship. There's always gonna be there's gonna be a divide. And I think the longer we try to run from it, and the reason why we're running from it is because of the circumstances that we've created, right? There's so many, I don't know if you know about the incel shit, right? So many incels end up transitioning to be women. I'm talking about male incels end up transitioning to women because that's a form of getting closer to vagina. It's well, if I'm never going to get vagina in my life, I might as well become one and then experience it from that point of view. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see how male culture is eating itself? Do you see it? I'm not crazy. You might be what does it sound? You might say this sounds all, but this is really how what's happening. It's we're eating ourselves because of the society we set up isn't working. It isn't working. So what happens? It leads to this global escapism, right? And then what doesn't help on top of that, I'm going to sidebar into something else, is no matter what you want to start, right? You can look up anything. You want to start something? Well, there's an article, there's a Google link or something that tells you the 15 essentials you need before you even start. And it's always like the most expensive stuff to get, right? That already in your mind is telling you, oh, well, I might as well give up. And then on top of that, you watch any TV. Like, the reason why things are presented a certain way is to show you that you can't do it. How many times have you seen or heard about a company that presents itself nice, but it's like in shambles? The shit, the materials, the quality, everything is ass. But guess what? If we present it a certain way, you won't do it. It's all about optics. If you don't do it, then you don't got to worry about competition. You can do it. You don't need the best of anything to do anything. If the story of J.K. Rowling was true, that she was homeless and then wrote a book and stuff, do you think she Googled, was like, oh, what are the 15 essentials I need before I can start writing this book? No, absolutely not. It's just leading to everybody giving up so fast. And then it makes me think about, like, suicide. And if you were to kill yourself, what happens, right? And I don't know. I'm thinking about it from, like, an individualistic standpoint. And I'm just like, I feel like you would just, since you didn't leave any heir behind, like if you didn't have any kids or anything, you would go back and at the starting point. You'd become your first version of yourself, and you'd have to live all your lives again until you ultimately, like, get onto, like, that golden path, like in Dune or whatever. Like, you would just keep, like, if you killed yourself, right, you'd go back to the first you, and you would live life again. It would be like the Dharma Karma thing. You just keep doing it over and over again until you finally ironed out this, like, perfect, or if you completed a version, like, because think about it, if you kill yourself or if you die in a video game, you go from the last checkpoint. What if the last checkpoint is, I don't know, the previous life, and then, or something like that? Like, who knows if it jumps around? It's not, time isn't linear, so you never know. Because, like, I was thinking about it, like, what if it is like the golden path? So the golden path in, like, Dune is basically, Paul, like, wants to be, is the ruler, but he, like, has this golden path where, because he can see the future, he can see the past, and he basically avoids his destiny. He's like, bro, I can't do the golden path. He's like, I can't do that. And then ultimately his son ends up doing the golden path. But what kind of fate does that leave him, since he was, avoided his destiny, right? His destiny was still there, so I guess he still has to figure out something. And I feel like that's in your life, where you're going to have to, I'm thinking, let me think. Nothing wrong with pausing in a video. I feel like I just spit for like 10 minutes straight. But, like, you're going to go back to the checkpoint, and you're going to keep ironing out that life until it's acceptable for you. Right? Because because you avoided, that's what I was trying to say. The golden path of destiny, if there was a lesson you needed to learn in each life, well, you just avoided it if you killed yourself. So you're going to have to go back and set yourself up in your past lives so that you don't avoid it in the one life where you avoided it, right? That's just how I'm thinking. So, like, in a sense, like, every life you have to live to the max, or you're just done, right? Have you ever heard the phrase, live a full life in a day or something, and you'll be okay to die by night? Which I've experienced, by the way. It's a crazy feeling. You'd be, like, literally okay if you died, like, that night. You'd be like, well, I did every single thing I felt like everything I felt I could do, or enjoyed, experienced in one day. I did, and I'm good. But if you constantly never experience or enjoy life or live life, you're always going to be like, I need another day. Need another day. Need another day. That was another sidebar. Just talking. Because I, see where my head's at. But I think the last thing I'll say about the Patricide or whatever is that we're seeing it, man. Just listen to people, listen to talking, and just see, like, it's so male-dominated. Culture is so male-dominant that I don't see a way where when women take over, it won't be. Because, like, look, and I'll say it like this, like, prime example. Women are already experiencing it because patriarchy is so strong, right? Trans women will win the women's pageant, Miss Universe, whatever, right? And women don't have a backbone to be like, no, this was a woman thing. But they are allowing men to make the rules in women competitions. Think about that. It doesn't matter if they're, okay, yes, they're trans, they identify as a woman now, but at the end of the day, it's still a man transition to then men are gonna ultimately transition and then take over everything women have to say, and women are gonna then just like I don't even know, go extinct. Like, how do you not see that as a reality? Am I tripping? We're taking over everything. We're just like, fuck it, we'll transition and go in here. We'll transition and go there. It's easier. They feel bad for me. Telling y'all people don't. And another thing that's so funny is that, like, I see tweets all the time, like, where, like, trans people will generally say they don't like women. I see those tweets all the time. And then women are like, like, no, they hate you because they can't be you. That's, like, where all science and everything stemmed from. Like, religion and everything is because they hate women. Everything comes from, I say it all the time, like, everything stems from hating women. They were jealous that women could bleed for a month or whatever a period is. Like, bleed for a week and not die. Like, how the fuck does she do that? She's not dying. They're mad she gives birth. They're like, I don't understand it. I'm telling y'all, everything is to kill the woman. We will keep women alive as long as we need until they can figure out a way to just genetically alter, like, make males produce babies. I'm telling y'all. It's really sad what the world's coming to, for real. And people are feeling bullied to, like, give in to that. Like, fuck that. Not at all. Are you kidding me? I'm telling y'all, this world is so crazy and out of whack that even if you say something back sanely to people, they don't get it. It's like, I don't even know if there is. That's why I made that whole rant. Like, you gotta go hard, like, for you and you're just you. Because you don't know if you're going to come back here. You don't know what's going to happen. And I don't want, and I pray for everybody to not have to come back here. These lessons are only going to get harder and harder until you can break free. Just everything repeating in cycles. Right? And we're supposed to do it as a community. But when the community is so fractured and divided, I don't know if we're going to be able to do it, because you can't do it individually. Literally, I just was reading something about the Bible, and Jesus said something about, like the individual versus community. I got to remember it, and I'll make another video on it. but I'll end it. But basically, it was just like, we can't emulate the sun, aka the sun. The sun is, he points at the sun because the sun is you. You're the sun. He's the sun. The sun, right? We're all the sun. And he says you can't be the sun individually. It's a collective. Like, we can be the sun. Something like that. Something along those lines. I'm like, damn. Jesus was really on to something. He was really out here spitting. He was out here spitting game for real. I gotta tip it, man. Man, if I was one of Jesus, sidebar, if I was one of Jesus' homies back in the day, man, I would have got it popping for real. I'd be like, Jesus, listen, I know we on a mission, but we got all these stops to make. Let's go crazy real quick. You about to die. I'm about to die probably with you. Like, let's go crazy for a little bit. You feel me? All right. Because Jesus was wild. Y'all can't tell me Jesus wasn't wild. And they talk about Mary got immaculate conception. We know what it was. He's like, damn, I got caught up. He was out here cheating. You know what I mean? He's out here cheating. He probably had another girl. And, they was writing his story or whatever. And he was like, yo, just say Mary, she just got pregnant. Like, something crazy happened. Everybody was like, all right, bet. He's like, because, if she finds out I was over here fucking, you know what I mean? I protect the homie. All right, boss. I'll talk to y'all later.